My name is Dan Brightwell. I'm the chairperson of the Southfield Veterans Commission. Today we are interviewing Mr. Robert D. Scheible. Today is April the 9th. We're in the Southfield Public Library. Also present is Ms. Ethel Grossman, who's a member of our Southfield Veterans Commission. Mr. Tim Workers, also a member of our Southfield Veterans Commission, and also the camera person. Mr. Scheible, could you just pronounce your full name and give us your date of birth, place of birth, and what were you doing before you entered the service?
Well, my name is Robert Scheible, Robert David Scheible. I was born 11/14/22. Grew up in Grosse Pointe Park, Michigan. I graduated from St. Ambrose High School. From there I went to work for Ford Motor Company as a chemist. My life sort of changed when Pearl Harbor was bombed because we went, and first I tried to get in the Army, into the Navy Air Force, but I couldn't bite on a spatula, so they wouldn't let me in. And wanting an officer's degree, I decided to join Kings Point Academy in Long Island, New York. And it was approximately on February 12, 1943 that we entered Kings Point Academy. We spent 3 months there training, extensive training. Then we spent 6 months at sea on a merchant vessel, and we delivered a load of tires to Basra, Iraq, for the Russians. And then we came back to New York. That took about 6 months. We went completely around the world. We headed in the opposite direction because too many ships were going down in the Atlantic. After I got back from delivering the tires to Russia, back to the academy, back to school, the Army Transportation Board came in and asked for volunteers to skipper tugboats, basically for D-Day. So I volunteered and resigned from the academy and volunteered in the Army Transportation Corps.
Okay, what year?
That was, let's see, I resigned on 12/30/1943. No, I resigned on February 22nd, 1944, effective 3/14/1944. And I started my Army Transportation career on February 24th, 1944.
Okay. Okay.
And we went over to France over to England on the Ile-de-France.
Oh, okay. Well, Kings Point, that was the Merchant Academy?
Yes.
Merchant Marine Academy.
Yeah, the Merchant Marine Academy. When you went to Kings Point, you had a choice when you graduated. You were either an ensign in the Navy or a merchant, or a merchant on a merchant vessel, whichever your choice. Okay. However, I never graduated. I joined the Army Transportation Corps instead.
Okay. When you first joined, did you have to go into any, let's say, indoctrination of basic or any training to act, target?
Well, all I did was sit in a New York hotel until they told me to go.
Is that right?
That's all.
Okay.
And they used my experience from Kings Point Academy to operate the tugboat, etc.
Okay.
We went to France on the Ile-de-France. We went to Glasgow, Scotland on the Ile-de-France.
Okay, what was that like as far as traveling to Scotland?
It was, we sailed on the Ile-de-France across the Atlantic to Roseneath, Scotland.
Okay.
And that's where our tugboats were.
Okay.
And so we then proceeded to ferry these tugboats down to Southampton and Plymouth, England to get ready for D-Day.
Oh, okay. Okay.
In fact, on one trip, the Commodore didn't show up, so with my experience, they elected me Commodore, so I took about 25 tugs down to Southampton at that time.
Okay.
We did stop at one port and lost one of the captains.